Hello YouTubers, I am here with a new moon in Pisces occurring over the night of March 12th into March 13th using the Angel Tarot and the Weaver Threads of Fate Oracle cards. We're going to pull a message, a quick message from the Tarot. We are going to pull a few more messages from the Oracle, and I'm going to talk about what this new moon in Pisces is about. So new moons, if you're new to the whole manifesting moon cycle stuff, the new moon is when the moon in its orbit being between the sun and earth is not visible. So this is basically when the moon starts its new cycle, according to NASA. It is an actual scientific thing. The moon starts a new cycle. So with that, it is called the new moon. Now, the moon does influence those on Earth. We know this. The moon influences the tides and does influence how people behave. This particular new moon, because it is in the sign of Pisces, which occurs at 5:23 a.m. Standard Eastern Time. So you may have to adjust your time zones accordingly. That is the same time zone as Toronto, Canada, or New York City. Okay, one from the bottom, and there's the moon card. So with this new moon, we may be feeling very sensitive emotionally. We may be feeling quite vulnerable. I do have several pages of notes I'm going to quickly reference while we go through this. New moons are always about new beginnings. This is when you want to manifest and start creating those thoughts and ideas into reality, or trying to bring them into reality. Be wary of anything right now that sounds too good to be true. It likely is. Whether it's the new moon or not, that is the case. As a former police officer, that usually is fraud. So just a heads up, if it sounds too good to be true, don't commit to it until you have a chance to look into it, because especially with the influence of this moon, we may be a little more likely to fall into those traps. With that said, we may also be feeling a little more spiritual and empathetic towards others. Now, the sign of Pisces is connected to the Pluto planet. Each sign has a planet that it is connected to. Pluto is the planet of the underworld. It is named after the god of the underworld. And it just happened to, ever so coincidentally, be discovered and named the same year that Disney introduced its Pluto character. But Pluto, representing the underworld, also can represent a lot of more spiritual or psychic type ideologies or abilities. So if you have those and you turn them off, you may be finding it harder to do so right now with this new moon influence. We may be having a lot more vivid dreams or synchronicity. So you're seeing a lot of repeating numbers here and there, or you're seeing the same sequence of numbers, or things are just hitting a pattern a certain way. This is an energy that is going to be building starting later Thursday on March 11th, and we'll be seeing it into the next week. So give yourself some breathing room. You are not going crazy. If you're feeling a little extra sensitive, this will pass as the moon switches signs, because it does so frequently. So with that said, we may also be having like epiphanies or aha moments where things just connect, and we're not sure how or why. We don't need to know that. We just need to know that they are connecting, and this is that light bulb going off moment. Now, because we have several other planets in the sign of Pisces right now, we may be feeling a little extra romantic. Partly because Venus, the planet of love, is also in the sign of Pisces. The planets do shift through all of the astrological signs, some quicker than others. So, onwards with this. We may be feeling our third eye, right about here, which is a chakra, for those of you who do meditations. We may be noticing that our creative abilities, we're having really good spiritual connections. If you have psychic abilities, you may not be able to ignore them because all of this energy is coming through in the sign of Pisces. You may be receiving messages and downloads. Those downloads are the aha moments. If you are feeling a little bit of sadness or like you are in mourning, that is because we are ending energetic cycles right now. And with that, all happening in Pisces, which is the end of the astrological calendar year, we are moving from water energy into fire energy with the help of Aries and spring equinox, or just the first day of spring, depending on how you prefer to say it. That is all happening March 20th into the 21st. We also have Venus moving into Aries, and we have a full moon in Libra, which is an air sign at the end of March. So there's a lot of big, huge kick in the pants type energy coming in. And right now we're kind of wallowing in we know the ending's coming. Pisces is the end of the astrological calendar year. We're getting ready to shift gears completely. We're starting a new astrological year coming up. So this new moon was setting your intentions, getting those messages out, getting your plans on paper as to what it is you want. Why is this so important? I spoke about this a little bit yesterday. This is our equivalent to making New Year's resolutions. We are literally on the doorstep of the new astrological year. This new moon is going to set the tone for what we want to bring in starting next week. It's that soon. It's the equivalent of, I think I used it was Boxing Day, making your New Year's resolutions on Boxing Day. And this is what this new moon in Pisces is doing. And with all of that said, it wants us to dream big, really expand the idea of what it is that you want and how you want to create it, and be creative in how you want to bring this in. Keep an open mind that what you manifest does not necessarily show up in the exact way that you want it. And that's where we may have some difficulties later on when this comes in. This is a time of cleansing ourselves. So if you have a lot of heavy energy, give yourself some time to meditate and think freely. Try not to obsess about those thoughts. Get it down on paper, get it out. Just know that when you go to release them on the full moon on March 28th, that it's not going to necessarily magically take away your burdens or your traumas or whatever it is that you need to release, but it does help to get it out on paper. So the energies that we have coming in, I just noticed a lot of major arcana coming in, and I know I just spoke about this. At the end of all this, I am going to give you a new moon ritual. It's a really quick, short one. It's very easy to do. And I did double check some of the things in it just to make sure it was safe. When you do your cleansings, do your salt baths, do your meditations, do your saging, your sprays, burn herbs, However it is that you cleanse, you can clean your windows, clean your house, clean your floors if you can't burn any incense or anything like that, or you can't have that kind of strong fragrances. That's fine. You don't need them. Make your moon water for those of you who do. Just be careful with your crystals. Make sure that they are safe to put in water. If you're not sure, just put them around your container, or if your container has a lid, put them on the lid. That way you're safe. You know you're not drinking anything dangerous. If your crystal ends in an ite, so like pyrite, I can tell you right now that that will be toxic if you put it in water. That particular crystal does have a chemical reaction when put in water, and you don't want to drink it. So from the bottom of the deck with this reading, I am using the Angel Tarot. We have the King of Cups. It's very emotional energy, as is Pisces, because Cups is water energy. And the King of Cups, he is, in this card, seeing everything, but he feels everything. He is connected to his emotions. He is showing them. He expresses them. And I do use the pronoun he because this is masculine energy. I do often use he, whether it's masculine energy or not, unless it is a specifically feminine card. But I will state that this is a feminine energy or this is a masculine energy. So with the King of Cups, that is masculine energy. You may feel it a little more raw, whereas the Queen of Cups would be more motherly. This is more masculine energy, so you may not be as free-flowing with your words and your empathy, but you do feel it. We have Major Arcana card, the Moon. The Moon is exactly what we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. The Moon also can be hiding things from view. There's something that needs to be revealed to us. With this new moon, there is no extra light from the moon. So please be mindful of that. The shadows that are hiding what needs to be revealed are going to be even deeper and even darker because of this moon energy. Now, whenever you see or hear major arcana, that equals major energy. Also from the bottom of the deck, we have Page of Swords. Pages are very youthful, not sure of their ability to handle any challenges or specific challenges that are coming their way. The page does have the skills, just not the confidence. Up next, we have Major Arcana card, the Tower. Something that is shocking and shakes us to our core or shakes our foundation. We have really been feeling this type of energy lately because we have seen the Death card in the daily readings. We saw them several days in a row. We are experiencing the energetic endings of this astrological year. The energy just globally is changing. People are just having enough. And those of you who aren't ready or have a solid foundation, you may be finding that this is really shaking you to the core. It's like lightning hitting your being, and it rattles you. This does not have to be bad news, though. Really shocking news can be positive. It's unexpected regardless of what that news actually is. The next major arcana card that we have is the Hanging Man. And we have seen the Hanging Man in the dailies, again, along with the Death card, quite a bit. Now, the Hanged Man is upside down, free floating. This is energy of waiting. It's a period of waiting. It often is described as a period of needing to see things from a different perspective. That doesn't hurt anything, but we do feel like we've been in suspended animation for way too long. We're over it. We're done with it. It's time to let it go. The Four of Pentacles often talks about hanging on too tightly. Pentacles is earth energy. It moves quite slowly, but is often described as being the miser because the figure hangs on, it's gripping and having its feet on the pentacle picture itself. So it's hanging on extremely tightly with all it's got. And it's time for us to let whatever that is go. Let that ideal situation, if it's not working, it's not working. It's time to let it go. Why? Because we have the energy of the Ten of Cups coming in. The Ten of Cups is wishes fulfilled, dreams coming true, happiness, the happy home, the rainbow over the skies. Your cups are not only full, but overflowing in every aspect. So right now, in this moon cycle, we are really feeling things emotionally. We're feeling a little insecure. We are feeling vulnerable because of this new moon in Pisces energy. What is coming in is we've been waiting for the Ten of Cups energy to come in, and we're over it. We're done. We need something to shake us, to help us let go. What we are letting go depends on your own personal situation, but you may have to release or let go of something. Otherwise, your foundations may be crumbling beneath you. You may be feeling really shaken when you're still stuck in suspended animation. Like you're just waiting. You need to shake this up to get things going, to let things go. Give yourself some love. Give some others love as well. But you may have to have a little bit more confidence in yourself in order to move forward through this. Also have some confidence in your dreams and your manifestations, because this is setting the tone, like I said, for the next year. Literally the next year from this time forward. Now let's see if we can get a couple oracles. We'll talk about those and then we'll end the video, as this is a special new moon reading. This is not a daily reading. This is just influences coming in with this new moon in Pisces. Like I said, the energies are really going to be felt for the next roughly week. If you are not able to do any of your rituals right away, that is fine. You still have a couple more days to get those in. If you can't do them tonight, do them tomorrow, because the new moon energy really starts tomorrow. And we don't need to rush it. There is nothing really good that comes with rushing anything unless you have a very specific hard deadline that cannot be moved. Now I am going to be reading from the book for these, because these are not traditional tarot. These are oracles. These are basically advice. And we are going to start with some fire energy, which is what we're going to start feeling next week on March 20th with the first day of spring and the first day of Aries, which is the first day of the astrological new year. And we have Venus moving into Aries on March 21st, the following day. So we are needing to reclaim the fact that you were born perfectly imperfect with human gifts, talents, medicine, wisdom, and knowing. Growing up in a culture that does not nurture these gifts creates misalignment with our highest truth. Reclamation can be a lifetime process. It is continually awakening to ancient medicine we knew in other lifetimes and soul wisdom. There is no rule book or map for this journey. This card calls your attention to what stirs you deep inside. We are often drawn to places, people, experiences, music that we know on a cellular level, but our logical minds may not understand. This card asks you to follow your intuition, Trust that desire and follow it. Reclaim your knowing, your power, your medicine, and your healing. Enjoy the mystery and the stories unfold. Now, in the daily tarot reading that I have done and will be posted later, we do speak about the trusting your desire and not understanding the logical mind, but allowing our spiritual mind to be open and a little more vulnerable. Now, up next, we have, I do have to refer to the book to find out what page these are on because they are not listed in alphabetical order. And we have the Seeker up next, which is air energy. Now, remember, air feeds fire, and we are about to hit a fire cycle. So with the Seeker energy, it indicates a need for energy, movement, vitality, and excitement. The Seeker is childlike at heart and has faith that at its core, the world is a beautiful place. As we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. The Seeker's message is again of reclamation. It is not so much about ridding yourself of stress, but remembering your essence. Slowly nurture your sense of wonder to all that it is around you. You may feel silly at first, but keep working on this to balance out the negatives. Instead of focusing on what if everything goes wrong, try to focus on what if everything is as it should be, or what if everything goes right. This energy of the Seeker is one of empowerment, curiosity, and feeling confident to navigate both external and internal worlds. These are flowing very, very well together, and we have more energy of the air coming in with this next card, and I do believe I've seen it before. I haven't used this deck a whole lot. I don't use my oracle cards as often as I should. We have the Wilding. Pulling this card is the time to connect with the most primal parts of yourself. You may need to detach from people around you so you can hear the whispers of your deepest knowing without the influence of others. This is raw, empowered, and independent. Many people are intimidated by this energy because they need a little from others and prioritize, good grief, I can't speak again, radical freedom, which can be unsettling in most societies. The Wilding burns the contract and heads into the woods. If you're able to get in touch with nature this weekend, do so. It is a great way to meditate. It is a great way to just clear your mind. It is also a great way to be present in the here and now, as you kind of have to, at least where I'm at, you have to focus on what's going on around you, or you're going to slip in the snow and be soaking wet and then freezing cold, which is not cool. But the Wilding does prioritize freedom, but remains grounded. This is an instinct that we are often told to suppress because it does not fit in with the norm of what society has deemed as acceptable for now. And it doesn't mean going and ripping off all your clothes and running barefoot through the streets. It's more about just getting in touch with your more primal side, which is not tied to a desk. It is about the doing, being a little bit more physically active, being outside in nature. That's where humans have evolved from, and we still have a primal need, to be out in nature. So if you can head out for 5-10 minutes outdoors, go enjoy it. Where I'm at in Northern Ontario, Canada, we are supposed to have a beautiful, at least Saturday, I don't know about Sunday. Our March weather is all over the map, so it could be gorgeous one day and 30 below the next. So if you can get out and enjoy the day, do it. Even if you just sit out on your stoop or open the window and get some fresh air. That will definitely help. We have one more here, and we are going to share wisdom. This card is about wisdom of experience. Our most potent medicine is born from the trials we have endured. It is easy to underestimate all that we know and all that we have learned, but we have the unique perspective and offering to this world. Our wisdom evolves around us right now. You are being asked to speak more loudly about what you do know. Do not worry about what you don't know or whether you think you are qualified enough. It is time to put voice to all that you have experienced. Now, this particular card does come with a suggested crystal of the lapis lazuli, which is an ally of initiation to our own medicine. It is a healing, very healing stone. Make sure I have the right one. And this is super tiny, but as you can see, it is a nice light shade of blue with darker blue stripes running through it. If you work with this stone, so if you meditate and meditate with stones, have it in your hand, work with it in other ways. I'm not hugely knowledgeable in a lot of crystals, but that one I do know it is very healing to work with it. Now, for your new moon ritual that I promised at the beginning of the reading, almost a half an hour ago. I'm sorry this is so long. I don't normally do these really long readings. One suggested ritual is write your dreams down on a piece of paper. Pour some love into it. I want to make sure I have it all right. Write down your wishes and place under your pillow. So when you are setting your intentions under this new moon, your intentions are what you want to bring in towards you. Write it down on a piece of paper. Put it under your pillow or beside your bed on your nightstand and use a piece of selenite. This is a bit of a polished piece. Selenite is usually quite rough and splinters, but this is a stone that I did double check that it is safe to use around your bedside. Some stones can amplify energy, therefore you don't necessarily want it in your bedroom, particularly close to you, but that is a very cleansing, clearing type stone. Put it under your pillow or beside your bed when you sleep. And then on the full moon on March 28th, release those. Burn it if you can. If you can't burn things, say you live in a large apartment block, you can take that paper and rip it very quickly with a lot of energy behind it. And that has the same effect as burning it. And rip it into as many little pieces as you can. And until then, dream about those intentions that you set and the things that you want to bring in with you. Another quick note, I know I talked about moon water and cleansing and all that fun stuff. If you have tarot cards, make sure you at least cleanse them and put them all upright in your deck is a quick way to cleanse them. If you can use smoke materials such as a Palo Santo stick, incense, sage, herbs. If you can't burn, put them out on a window ledge that will hopefully be in view of the moon to cleanse any of the energies that you have in your divination tools. Same goes with your crystals. Put them out on the window. This is a moonstone. This is a large moonstone, polished on one side because it has been cut. Put those out on the window ledge. Let the new moon cleanse their energies. And then a day or the following day after the new moon, they're good to go. Give them a good shuffle, wipe them off. Not strongly advised to have a lot of crystals in the sunlight as they can damage or fade. Same with water, they can be damaged. Same with salt, can be damaged as well. Another quick one, if you're doing the floors, sprinkle some salt and let it sit for a moment. And sweep it up as you clean your floors, because this is helping to clear and cleanse the energies, as salt is one of the biggest ways that we cleanse in the spiritual world. So I'm going to leave it here. Dream big with your manifesting and setting your intentions this weekend, and I will talk to you soon.